Gail here. I know it's been a while since my last one. Well, I think it's been 2 weeks, maybe 3, who knows. Anyway, I have just come back from spending the weekend at my daughter's, who lives far, far away. And it was lovely seeing her and her husband and our youngest grandson, who is a little cherub. He wasn't very well. He's growing teeth, you know how that makes them. And he's got a bit of a cold. But it's still lovely to see him. And he's full of smiles in between the crying. But yeah, he's lovely. So that was quite nice. We went along, a first for me, well, probably not a first, but a first in a long time, was we decided we go in different ways. Sometimes we go after work, after my husband's work, and we drive as far as Gloucester on the motorway, and then we stop in a hotel, have a nice sleep, and in the morning have the breakfast, and then continue on our way. And we get to my daughter's maybe 11 or 12. That's a bit costly, but if he's trying to save his holidays, that's sometimes what we do. And we have been known to drive there in the whole day, set off in the morning and get there at tea time. It takes about 5 hours if the traffic's good and the weather's good and everything. But we set off on Thursday morning, and we decided to do it, or give it a try, the way that my son-in-law's parents do, and they get up really early and drive there in the quiet and the darkness of early morning. So the alarm was set for 4:30. 4:45 I was up and getting showered, got dressed, put everything in the car, last minute packing, and we were off out of the house at about 20 to 6. The aim was 5:30, but you know, what can you do? We went to the supermarket to buy the foods that we take, and came out of there about 6:05, and off we drove. And it hadn't occurred to me that it would be dark, speeding along the motorway in the dark. I don't really like speeding along the motorway anyway, but in the dark it was a bit scary for me. I don't drive. I'm not good at that kind of thing. I'm not good at anything really. I can't read maps, I can't do anything. Well, there's lots of things I can do. I can make lasagna, and so to a degree where it doesn't fall apart, shall we say. Anyway, so we set off, and it was very tiring. I wouldn't have been able to drive, I'm sure. I'd have fallen asleep. But I mean, he gets up for work at 5 o'clock, so he's used to it. Anyway, we got there, I don't know what time it was, about 11, I think. It was about 11:30, something like that. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, so yeah, I was very tired. I didn't have a nap or anything. I stayed awake all day, and we went to bed early because they always go to bed early, so did we. Husband snoring away there, and I couldn't get to sleep again. I couldn't get to sleep the night before when I had to get up at 4:30. I had about 2 hours sleep. Anyway, we were there 3 nights, and eventually I did get some nice long lengths of sleep. And last night, when we got home last night, in fact, considering there was a lot of traffic and a lot of restrictions, and a lot of the time we were going 40-50 miles an hour, we got home in 4.5 hours. And we stopped at a shop for, you know, toilet facilities and to buy a sandwich. Well, I had an egg sandwich, and he had a beef burger from somewhere that wasn't McDonald's. So we stopped there about 20 minutes maybe, possibly not even that long. Yeah, 4.5 hours. So anyway, we got home to a very cold house, and after about 2 hours of unloading the car and reading the post and things, I said, I'm going for a nap. So we organised for him to wake me up if I was still asleep at about 7 o'clock, so that I could make some tea. So he didn't, and I got up possibly, I don't know, 11, and I thought, oh, I'm a bit peckish, so I filled a bowl with cereal and milk, which had gone bad because it was from last Monday. We'd cancelled the milk for Friday, so I threw all the milk away. I drained my cereal, put all the bad milk bottles in the sink for a good soaky wash, and went back to bed. don't think I did. Oh, I watched a bit of telly, but only an hour or so. I was back in bed by 12. So, and then I slept until 9 o'clock this morning. Apart from when he got up and bounced the bed around and everything, which apparently you can't put your socks on without doing that. Anyway, I've been awake since about 9 and got up, had a shower. Still in a freezing cold house, and I kept thinking I'll turn that heater up, you know, the one we've got one on top of the stairs. I kept forgetting. Anyway, I came downstairs, freezing cold, and we've got no bread. All the milk was off. Oh no, but I looked outside and we had, I've done something a bit crazy really. We had the milk delivered. It comes on a Monday and a Friday, and I'd cancelled Fridays. So I made myself a coffee and I had some yogurts. But last night, I did something a bit crazy really. Considering we're not big egg eaters, I ordered 30 fresh eggs laid today, and they came about 11 o'clock. So I've got a big tray of 30 eggs. Don't know where I'm going to put them, but yeah, I want to start eating more eggs. And I was saying to my husband last week, I'm going to start ordering eggs off the milkman, but they were going to charge 60p for delivering a carton of 6 eggs. So I thought, I'm not doing that. I'm not paying delivery charges when they already deliver me milk. They can get lost. Anyway, this person, they're fresh from the farm, and you can have them every week, every fortnight, or every month. And I thought, well, 30 eggs should last a month if I only have one a day. And you know, the protein, they're supposed to make you feel full. And many years ago, I did have omelettes every day for lunch, and I lost a lot of weight then. So I don't really feel like omelettes, but I do like eggs. I like egg on toast and things like that, you know. So anyway, my husband is going to come home and find 30 eggs. I told him I'd bought some eggs. I didn't tell him I'd bought 30. And it was so cold I turned the heating on. Now we don't put the heating on, try and save money. But the whole house was cold just because we hadn't been there for 4 days. Anyway, the heating, I've set the thermostat for 20 degrees. So by the time he comes home, he won't be pleased because he keeps a vast amount of things on the back of his settee, which backs onto the radiator, and I've just pulled everything off the settee, so it's all over his settee, off the radiator, so it's all on his settee now. He won't be pleased about that, but you know, he's got wardrobes. Don't need to be all over the living room radiator, back of the settee area, do they? It's nicely warming up in there. But I thought I'll have to go out and make a video. So we went to my daughter's, we came back, got home safe. I went to bed, went to sleep, so I don't know how many hours I've had. 10, 12 hours sleep, something like that. I do feel refreshed, although I'm very cold. And when I got up, I thought, why did I get up? So warm and cozy in the bed and so cold in the house. Anyway, I came in here, it was 9 degrees in here, and I've got my heater on. I don't know if you can hear it. It's now 17, so it's coming up a bit, and I've got my nice cup of coffee here. So, the jumper that I am crocheting for my eldest grandson, I am halfway through the first sleeve. I've done the front and the back, so I'm getting there, aren't I? I've not used a pattern. Every time he comes round, I put it on him to see. It's much too big, but there's room to grow, you know, and I'm sure he doesn't want anything that's tight. And he puts it on and stands there with his arms stuck out while I measure bits of him and things. So that seems to be going okay, but I'm getting a bit, it's not fulfilling my needs, you know, crocheting. I do it for about a quarter of an hour and I think, oh, what can I do instead? I've tried reading my book. I'm not enjoying that. I'm not enjoying February's book. Anyway, while we were off going downwards through country, we stopped at the services. We always stop at Stafford services and have a cup of coffee and something to eat. Nothing necessary. We have you know, like a Danish or something. We had Rocky Road because the Danishes didn't look too appealing, and of course used the toilet. And then we went in W.H. Smith and saw what magazines there was. So my husband couldn't find any satisfactory fishing magazines, but I found this. What's it called? Today's Quilter. Now I have had Today's Quilter since issue 1. It's my magazine. It's got things in it I like. I like this magazine, and I used to subscribe to it and get it every month. And then when the heating costs went up, we thought, how on earth are we going to afford the heating without increasing our income? So we cancelled my quilting magazine subscription. We cancelled my husband's fishing magazine subscription. We cancelled our subscription to the National Trust, and we got rid of Sky Television. So now we only have Freeview, and we also have Prime through Amazon and well, not Netflix, no, what's it called? YouTube. YouTube is part of that. We can access that on our TV. Anyway, that's saved enough money for us to be paying the increased costs of our gas and electric bills. Anyway, I bought this. There was nothing for him, and the rest of the way we were discussing, I was saying how I was really looking forward to reading this magazine. I'd really missed it, and he really misses his fishing magazines. And but we can't buy them. This was a one-off because I've said before, we decided to cancel them to save money, so there's no point buying them. But I suggested that we didn't say we couldn't have birthday presents, and I could buy him his fishing magazine subscription for his birthday present, and he could buy me a subscription to my magazine for my birthday presents. So that's being mulled over at the moment, but that's a solution. It's not something we can get rid of because we're indulging ourselves. It's a present. That's not the same, is it? Anyway, I'm thinking my next quilt, I might be making this. What do you think? I've got to work out, I mean, I know it's a ridiculous thing to say, but I've got to work out if I've got enough fat quarters. I need 3 fat quarters of dark blue, 1 fat quarter of light blue, 5 fat quarters of red, 2 fat quarters of pink, and 3 fat quarters of brown, 6 yards of backing. So I'm going to have a rummage after I finish this to see if I've got enough fat quarters. And if I have, I might have a go at doing this. I've never made one of these stars before. It's, you know, it's something I've wanted to do. Really, I want to do a lone star. But it's all the offsetting of the diamonds puts me off. Anyway, I'm thinking I might do that because, you know, I was going to do my red and white quilt. But I might do this instead. That's how it turns out. Of course, the quilt that I've been doing since last year, my applique one, which of course doesn't follow a pattern either, a bit like my knitting. I do it, I think, nah, I don't like it, undo it, put something else in its place. That is all sewn together now, and so is the backing, and they are the right size. My backing is bigger than the front. I've just got to layer my wadding in between, which I'm not looking forward to, being as it's I think it's 88, is it 88 inches square? More or less square. It's about 1 inch out somewhere. Right, okay. So that's all ready for layering up, getting all my whatever it's called, safety pins, my curved safety pins out to piece it all together. There's a lot of moving around there to get my big table out to lay it on and do it, but it's got to be done. I might do that at some point, or I might start cutting out this, or I might go back to my original idea of doing my what they're called, sand timer quilt, quarter square triangles in my different reds and greys. I feel like doing that. I've hemmed some skirts which I've brought in here to do on the machine. I've just turned them up with pins and tacking. One of them I discovered, it's only half hemmed. I've started that and not finished it. And the other one, I ripped a hole in the bottom. Did I tell you that the other week? I was trapped. I had to call my husband because he makes me bring my phone in case, you know, something happens. And usually when I phone him up, he doesn't answer anyway. But I sent him a message saying, come and help me, I'm stuck. And I was stuck by my chair. My chair had ripped my skirt, and my skirt had gone inside the wheel workings, and I couldn't stand up to even sort it out. It took so long coming, I was thinking, shall I just cut it? Just cut my skirt and get up. Anyway, it's left a big hole, and I decided I wasn't going to try and mend it. I'll turn it up. I don't know if it'll be too small, but if it is too short, at least it won't get stuck under my wheel again, will it? So I brought that in to do. I folded up my quilt. I've got nothing new to show you. I've not bought anything. And what's the date? 27th. Is it the 27th of February? And I've bought no fabric. My husband has had a tooth prepared for its crown, and that's like £400 or something. So I got the money out the savings account, and I thought I'll get a bit more out and buy some more wadding, because that's due to go up a lot soon. Everything's going up a lot, isn't it? Everything. Food, petrol, gas, electric, wadding. Anyway, I've been very good. I'm sure the person or the people that I usually buy fabric off are like going into liquidation now, because I've not spent all my money on them. But there you go, I can control myself. So what else have I got to talk to you about? Nothing. That's it. I've written notes down, and that's about it, I think. Anything happen interesting to you? Any questions, anybody? I think I might do one of these blocks and see how easy it was. That might be a good idea, might it? I was just thinking then, have I ever shown you my I don't think I have. I did these. Oops. I did these for the Queen's Jubilee, you know, her 70 years. I've not made very many, only about 4. I've got to get on making these as well. You have to cut them all into all these strips and lengths and things, all red, white and blue. See, I've got this to finish as well. So these are, it's my Union Jack quilt, to celebrate the Queen's 70 years on the throne, and now she's gone. I was thinking also I might sew together my Queen's Walk, my English paper piecing squares that I've got 36 of. I might start sewing them together. It's hand sewing I'm looking for, you see. I like to do something while the telly's on, and I'm not really enjoying the crocheting. I'm not in the mood for that, really. It's funny because, you know, very often I can't wait to do crocheting and the sewing annoys me. Anyway, yes, got out all my pinks, all my reds, all my blues to make a big quilt, and I've only done 4. But, you know, that needs doing as well. I have tried to write down things I want to do before I die, and I think really amongst all those things I ought to write down things I want to finish, haven't I? Anyway, I was discussing it at weekend with my daughter, what she's going to have to do with all my things when I die. Not that I'm planning on dying, I'm just feeling like being organised. Anyway, I'm nicely warming up in here. It's warmer than the house, but it's 19 degrees now. Got my jumper on, my t-shirt, my scarf and my 2 skirts, as usual. So I'll leave it here. Hopefully next time I talk to you, I will have something more interesting to show you. In fact, I'm going to show you my quilt. A quarter of it anyway. This is a quarter of it that I've finished. So you can see a quarter of the middle there, surrounded by the blue and white. And then I've got 2 loads of these squares in a square and some more blue and pinky colours. Then I've got my borders and the blue, this blue that I didn't have enough of. It looks nice, doesn't it? Along the edges. See how enormous it is? So I've just folded it into 4 so that I can show you it bit by bit. Yeah. So I'm just showing you all the way around 1/4. I need to get that sorted for layering up and get it out of the way, really. And yes, let's get that out of the way, because that's taking up a lot of room. Don't know what I've done with my backing. Oh, it's here. This is all my backing sewn together, all squares, and I've gone around the edge with half squares that aren't lined up because I was fed up with meeting you know, the corners of these. So I think that is about, that one's, my top is 88 inches square, and that is about 92 inches square. So that's ready. I'm going to write a list of all the things that I need to finish, I think. Maybe that will stop me starting something yet again. Anyway, I hope this leaves you well. I hope you've enjoyed our little chat, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye bye for now.